How's it going, guys? Welcome to this week's episode on Hazy Days, the College Survival Guide. And on this week, we are going to be covering scheduling classes. Now, everybody always says the early bird gets the worm, but let me tell you, 8 a.m. in college is a lot earlier than 8 a.m. in high school. See, once you get to college, you have this freedom where not every night is considered a school night. And you kind of keep yourself up later in the night. So when the morning does come around for your 7, 8, 9 a.m. classes, you are sleepy as hell. Now, some people are really used to this wake up time, start time. I went to college with a guy that worked on a farm his entire life, so he was already used to waking up early in the morning, getting his day out of the way, and having lots of free time throughout the rest of the day. Now, my first semester at WSU, I thought, hey, I think I'm used to waking up early enough, so I'll schedule in 9 a.m., followed by a 10 and 11. Well, by the time I was finally focused and fully awake in the morning, it was time for my 11 o'clock class. The 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. were completely useless. The whole time I was there, I was either falling asleep in my chair, or I was so focused on waiting to get home and getting to take a nap that I just could have cared less what the entire lecture was about. Now, this is harmful in two different ways. A, you're not going to know the material, so going to class is pretty much useless for you. And B, you're going to get yourself on a terrible sleep cycle and make it so you're not even going to be going to class and you're going to be skipping every morning. Now, I was definitely one of those people. I struggled in those 9 and 10 a.m. classes. I didn't skip, but I know a lot of people that were in my dorm with me ended up skipping a lot of these classes, and it really did harm their grade a lot. So by the time I was almost finished with college, I finally learned that I should schedule my classes to fit more of my sleep schedule. I know myself, I'm definitely more of a night owl. I like to stay up, until 2, maybe 3 in the morning some nights. So I like to start my day around 11, noon, onward, just because that's what fit me well. Now, unfortunately, not all classes are scheduled the way you want them to be. You're going to have to really just base your schedule off of what times the classes are offered, because they're not offered at every time of the day. Now, not only do you have to think about what time you should schedule your classes for, but you should also really see who the professors are that are teaching these classes. Now, for me, my first semester, I had no idea about ratemyprofessor.com, which is an amazing website that you can go on, type in your school, and type in the teacher's name, and a whole biography will come up about this professor. Now, it will tell you what their grading structure is like, whether they are very helpful in lectures and in office hours, as well as their overall rating. Now, I didn't look into this much my first semester because I didn't know. And so when I walk into class for my accounting, I turned out to be in the worst class possible with this professor. Little did I know, the professor that I had actually had a criminal background and didn't give a flying shit about her students. It was absolutely terrible. She was one of those people where they make you feel really stupid for asking a question. One of those situations where they make you feel like you should know this, and they're very demeaning, and they just basically beat you down instead of building you up like a good professor should. Now, just like how you would get stuck with a certain schedule because that's the only time that your class is scheduled for, there's only certain professors that teach certain subjects, and in some situations there might only be that one professor that teaches that subject, so you might get stuck. And in a lot of situations for those first coming into college, there's a lot of Weedout Classes, which are those that just make it very, very hard on the students to be successful and pass the class. I don't know why they do this, and I actually hate it, but I'm pretty sure it's to weed out the people that maybe this major just isn't for you. And I really encourage that you do push through this barrier and put most of your focus on that class. Now, there are studies out there that say you are most productive in the morning, but nobody says what time your morning has to begin. Like I said, for me, having my classes scheduled at 11 a.m., my morning started at 10, giving me plenty of time to wake up, get ready, and go to class. But because I scheduled my classes that late, I was well refreshed and I could actually focus on the material in class. Now, like I said, my freshman year, waking up at 8 and having to go to class at 9, I was just groggy, sleep deprived, and it was really taking a toll on me, especially since whenever I got home, I wouldn't study, I wouldn't do homework. What would I do? I would go and take a 2 or 3 hour nap just to get re-energized, just to do nothing with the rest of my day because I was still tired from my nap. Now, another thing you should really consider when scheduling for classes is see what classes your friends are scheduled for, or hoping to schedule for. Because if you can get in the same routine as your friends, they'll help keep you accountable for getting to those morning classes if that's what you choose to do. They'll help you for accountability in just about every area, especially homework, tests, exams, studying. But for me, it was really important to have them, actually get me to class in the morning and, make sure I wasn't just sleeping the day away and not getting out of bed. All right, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in to this week's episode on Hazy Days. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment down below of some of your college experiences and stories. Thank you so much. See you next time.